And thank you for joining us here for the Gadsden Times Football Review. I'm Teddy Couch and this is Kevin Taylor, and sponsored by Williams Cleaning Service over in Rainbow City. And I was at Titan Stadium tonight to see Gadsden City, and they fell to the 6A #2 Oxford Yellow Jackets, 35-6, Kevin. And I haven't been back too long, so what else happened tonight?
What didn't happen tonight? That's the question, Teddy. We had a full slate of games tonight. Just not only around the area, but also around the state. Just a quick rundown of some of the local scores tonight. Coosa Christian knocked off Appalachian 45-22. Pleasant Valley beat West End 68-26. Westbrook beat Raglan 28-6. Sardis beat Sylvania 27-7. Sandrock Sandrock was down 12-0 to Gadsden, and Sandrock scores 21 unanswered to win 21-12 tonight. Other scores, as we said, Gadsden City loses to Oxford 35-6. Etowah shuts out Moody 19-0. Albertville shuts out Columbia 33-0. Jacksonville over Alexandria 35-28. Boaz 2-0 over Gunnersville 42-19. Big night for one of Boaz's running backs, and I'll touch on that a little bit later on. Last night, Cedar Bluff beat Spring Garden 28-6. Cherokee County knocked off St. Clair County. Big upset right there. 33-7. Wow. Collinsville over Crossville 47-14. Fort Payne falls to Scottsboro 26-13. Fife easily over Geraldine 41-7. Galesville over Asbury 34-0. And Ohatchee over White Plains 41-8. Piedmont over Addison 32-20. North Jackson beats Plainview 48-0. And Springville over Asheville 33-22. A number of games in the state ended up being delayed and actually were stopped tonight because of thunderstorms that ran through the state. So there'll be a number of games that are not complete, and they will be completed as early as 9 a.m. in the morning.
Right, yeah. Fortunately, we were able to avoid that here in Etowah County.
Yes, we were. Yeah, that was a good thing. So we really want to appreciate everybody who's joined us tonight. Thanks for staying up late and seeing us, and we invite you guys to ask some questions tonight. Whatever we can do, and we will do our level best to try to answer every one we can. And then again, thanks again to Williams Cleaning Service for being a sponsor tonight. They were also a sponsor for us on Facebook Live last night. And don't forget, any videos, any photographs, stories, go to thegadsdentimes.com and you can check it all out there. You can also go to our Facebook page if you're not already there right now. And also, Teddy's a mad tweeter. Just go to his page and find out, as well as a number of our staff members. So there's plenty of information out there. And like I said, tonight, if you got any questions, please feel free and give us let us know. Okay.
We do have a few comments. Wendy said hello, so thank you for joining us, Wendy. Christy said Gadsden City can rebuild, new coach, and it takes time, and I absolutely agree with her on that. Gadsden City maybe not have as much talent as they typically would in the past.
Right.
But their 0-2 doesn't seem the best. But at the same time, they haven't played any region games yet. I mean, season really starts next week for the Titans. The season's not over. It's far from over.
No, it's far from over. And I'll just take you back 2 years ago. Mm-hmm. Okay. Gadsden City starts out the season 0-4, goes to the playoffs, and they get to the semifinals. Yeah. So by no means is the season over for Gadsden City. Here again, Gadsden City arguably is playing one of the toughest schedules in the state. You start off against the #2 team in 5A, and then you turn around and you play the #2 team in 6A, and then you've still got the region, which you know, it's not easy. So
No, it's not.
you know, don't count the Titans out.
No, not at all. You know, they just got a few things they need to fix, which we'll touch on that, you know, once we get over to that. But we have a few comments as well. We had somebody ask that, who do we have coming out of Etowah's region? You know, and that, you know, with Boaz tonight, I don't know if we've touched on that yet. You mentioned the score, but that sure is an interesting result.
You know, you look at, you've got Boaz, you've got Sardis, and Etowah. You know, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking ahead, and I hate to, and most football coaches will go ahead and say it right here and now. You don't want to look ahead.
Mm-hmm.
But October 26th, when Etowah and Boaz play, that could be for the region title.
Who thought we'd be saying that before the season started?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. So Boaz, a big win tonight, 42-19 over Gunnersville. You know, Christian Collins, my God. I mean, this kid, in 2 games, he has rushed for 515 yards and 9 touchdowns. Tonight, he rushes for 272 yards on 28 carries and 5 touchdowns, of runs of 3, 50, 1, 63, and 47 yards.
That's getting the job done.
Yeah, isn't it though? And I mean, just last week he rushed for 243 yards and 4 touchdowns in a win over Arab. So you know, if I'm Jeremy Smith, I'm going to stay. I'm going to keep riding that horse, because he's bringing them down the stretch. Let me tell you.
So who do you got in that region?
I still think Etowah is the team to beat, but there again, I would say Sardis and Boaz right now are looking pretty good as far as getting a playoff berth, and who knows?
Sardis Southside meet next week, and that one is going to be an interesting one.
It should be. Yeah. It really should be. You know, and that very well could be for playoff positioning.
Absolutely.
On down the road. I mean, I know it's early, folks. You know, the region slate starts next week, and you know, we're talking about playoffs. So, but you know, still, every week from here on out counts, and so every game's big from here on out.
Yeah. Speaking of the lines, big 27-3 win over Sylvania tonight.
Yeah, yeah, a big game, big win for them. You know, they knock off knock off Sylvania. I believe it's 27-7 actually.
Oh, was it? My
yeah.
bad.
That's
my
okay.
Apologies. That's my apologies.
Okay.
But I did say they played both quarterbacks as expected, and they both, you know, had results on the field for sure.
Yep.
Jay Owens showing off his passing ability, and Trent Presley had a running touchdown as expected, and then he also had a couple of interceptions defensively too. So, you know, showing results on both sides of the ball.
Yeah. Hey, again, if you have any questions, folks, or any comments, please feel free. You know, and again, we want to really thank everybody for joining us tonight. Again, a big shout out to Williams Cleaning Service over in Rainbow City for being a sponsor tonight. Just a kind of a rundown of some of the scores tonight as well. Again, Coosa Christian over Appalachian 45-22. Pleasant Valley over West End 68-26. Westbrook over Ragland 28-6. Sardis over Sylvania 27-7. Gadsden falls to San Rock 21-12. Glencoe falls to Ranburn 41-7. As we've talked about and touched on a little bit, Gadsden City falls to Oxford 35-6. Etowah, another shutout over Moody, 19-0. And Albertville over Columbia, 33-0. And then, like we said, Boaz over Gunnersville, 42-19.
Which one you want to dive into next?
Wow. You know, tonight I had an opportunity to see Coosa and Appalachian. Coosa opens up region play next week. They go to R.A. Hubbard, which is Cortland. That is almost 2.5 hour drive to play a region game. So, and it's not going to be an easy task either. R.A. Hubbard ended up beating Shoals Christian pretty handily tonight. And knowing the history of Cortland football, they've got good football up that way. So there should be a tough game for Coosa. Coosa comes out on top, 45-22. They ended up bouncing back after a tough loss to Westbrook Christian last week. Dartavius Britton,
what a running back he is.
What a running back. I mean, this guy might be 5'2" in stacks, maybe. I don't know.
But he plays like he's 6'2".
But he plays like he's 6'7" and is just a world beater out there. I have to say he's pound for pound probably one of the best running backs in the area.
Absolutely.
And believe me, we've got some really good running backs this year.
Do.
So.
Yeah.
Britton ended up finishing the night with 263 yards rushing on 17 carries and 2 touchdowns, and then caught 4 passes for $105 and 2 more scores. So Coosa kind of came out of the blocks a little slow. Go up 18-0 at the half, but then they just turned the Jets on in the second half and put this game to bed early.
Right. I was over in Gadsden City. We'll go ahead and run down that one.
Yeah, absolutely.
The Titans, first possession for Oxford, they run down the field and score, and I'm kind of wondering how this one's going to go for the Titans, but the defense really settled in after that. Didn't give up any points or not many yards after that until right before the half. Gadsden City was backed up deep in their own territory, and punt didn't go well for Gadsden City, and that was only an 8-yard punt. Oxford gets it at the 27-yard line. And in first play, a 27-yard pass from Trey Higgins to Rock Taylor for a touchdown. That was a big play in this game because Gadsden City was not able to get much going offensively the whole entire way. But I thought if Gadsden City could have kept that 7-0 heading into halftime because Oxford got the ball first, maybe Gadsden City could have kept it close because, like I said, the defense was playing well the entire night, but they just couldn't get anything going on offense. And so it's going to be interesting to see how they move back from this one. But Oxford started out the second half with a touchdown from Titus Smith-Lindsay again, and then they just went from there. And the offense struggled, 7 3-and-outs on 13 drives. Offensive line's really struggling. They're young and inexperienced, and it's showing right now.
And I was about to touch on this. Where exactly are the issues with Gadsden City as far as the offense?
It's the offensive line. I mean, they're just young and inexperienced. They have the skill guys. And you look at Jamontez Woods, he's got D1 offers. They got Deontay Jones, who's a great second guy. They got DeMarcus Macon, by the way. They switched back and forth between Jalen Robinson and DeMarcus Macon last week at quarterback. They went DeMarcus Macon the entire way. So it looks like this may be his job now. He was 8 of 11 for only 34 yards. They tried a lot of screen passes. Like I said, they just couldn't get anything going. It's just that young, inexperienced offensive line. They got time to work it out, but they're going to have to figure it out pretty quick.
Yeah. And, I mean, time is ticking. You start the region schedule here next week. They're at home next week against Sparkman.
That is a huge ball game because they got Sparkman next week at home, and then right after that they're staring down Austin, who was a semifinalist in 6A last season, and then they got Bob Jones, who was always one of the favorites in that region. So if they can beat Sparkman next week, Gadsden City, that sets them up good heading those 2 games. But I really feel like they need to get that Sparkman win. Yeah,
and I mean, Austin isn't too shabby. They ended up knocking off Decatur tonight. I think there was well over 100 points combined in their game tonight with Decatur. And then Bob Jones, they were playing over in the Atlanta metro area, and they played Mainland High School out of Daytona Beach, Florida, and ended up winning a track meet tonight. So, again, 2 quality teams. For Gadsden City, it just does not they don't have a week off.
No, they do not.
In this schedule.
Especially the first half of the season.
Yeah.
They really don't. And, they had an interception that was returned by Quentin Dinsmore, about 40 yards to the 31, and they just weren't able to, cash in on it later on. And Dinsmore also had a pick 6, but he dropped it, and that would have been huge too. But defensively, I think they're going to be okay. But it's just getting that defense off the field, keeping that offense on there and getting some yards.
Yeah. Again, welcome everybody to Facebook Live, and welcome to everybody to the Gadsden Times Football Review. Again, thanks again to Williams Cleaning Service for being our sponsor tonight. We'll be back with you again next Friday, and we'll run down another full slate of football. Looking ahead to next week, let's just look at some of these games coming up before we delve into any more other games.
Real quick, Patrick's, speaking of next week, said, but it's not in our area, but one of the biggest games next week, Thompson versus Hoover. And boy, is he right.
Yeah, boy, yeah. Yes, he is right. You're absolutely right. That is a huge football game. Looking ahead locally, you've got Coosa Christian at R.A. Hubbard, Etowah's at Crossville, Gadsden City's at home against Sparkman, Gaston's at home against Ranburne, Glencoe hosts Randolph County, and if I'm not mistaken, Randolph County is ranked #1 in the state. Yeah. Hoax Bluff's at White Plains, Sardis versus Southside. That'll be a biggie just in the county alone.
Region 2.
And then you've got Westbrook at Vinemont, West End at Cleveland, Albertville at Fort Payne, and then Boaz at Douglas. So, we got a full slate next week, and the games just keep on rolling.
Absolutely. Did we touch on Etowah Moody at all?
We have not, no. 19-0 again. Etowah over Moody. There again, the big question with that game was whether Dericky Wright was going to play or not, because he ended up going down with what looked to be a shoulder injury against Gadsden City last week, and he did. He bounced right back, threw for a touchdown, and seemingly threw for a second touchdown, but it was called back on a penalty. There again, Etowah just keeps rolling. I'm sure feel quite confident they'll maintain that #2 ranking in the state. And then next week, they go on the road to open up region play at Crossville.
It's good to see Dericky out there. I didn't get to see him, but I'm glad to see that he was out there playing. I want to see him go down, and Blue Devils keep rolling into region play.
That's right. And then we had one of our staffers, Michael Rogers, went over to Westbrook tonight and saw Westbrook pretty easily handle Raglan, 28-6. Hunter Grimes was a big player for Westbrook tonight. 16 carries for 127 yards and a touchdown. And Westbrook 2-0, and they could really make some noise in their region.
Absolutely, I think that region is set up well for them possibly getting in the playoffs. And then same thing with Gadsden. Gadsden had a close result with Sandrock. I mean, you got to think, one season removed from a 1-9 season, and I want to say Sandrock made the playoffs last year. Tough 2A squad. That's a big game for Gadsden, in my opinion. That shows that Gadsden's back.
I think they are. We've got some strong teams in Etowah County this year, and how many we see playing in Week 11, meaning the playoffs. I don't want to say right now, because it could be quite a few.
Patrick with a good question. Do you think Etowah keeps a 2-quarterback system all year? And I absolutely do. I think they do. As long as both of them keep giving results like they are, I think so. Dericky adds so much to that offense. Brady, he's mobile. He can run with the ball, but he's also, has a good arm. But Dericky, just what he brings, he's one of those players you want the ball in his hands at some point.
Absolutely.
You have to get the ball in his hands, and he provides a spark to that offense. And Treep does as well, and he just brings in a whole nother dimension. But I think I would want to play both of those.
Without a doubt.
No doubt about it.
Without a doubt. Brady Troop's really come along and has really, just in a couple weeks, has really started to take hold of this offense and run it well. But then, like I said, with Dericky Wright out there, this guy has got to get the ball in his hands. He is, without a doubt, he is a playmaker when it comes to the offense. And whether it's at quarterback, whether he's at slot, whether he's at wide receiver, wherever.
Whether he's at linebacker, because they got him on defense too, and he
Right.
does a great job there too.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So, and I think the big thing with that, you have Dericki, went through his first full season last year, but they didn't have him before that.
Right.
He was kind of thrown into the fire last year. But with Brady, he was able to spend his whole ninth grade year last year with Etowah. He's able to learn the system.
Yep.
So you got two experienced quarterbacks back there at Etowah, and that's something that no coach is going to complain about.
I'm
Absolutely
about to say
not.
no. I mean, if I'm a football coach right now, I'm feeling really good about my quarterback situation at Etowah.
And Patrick said, sorry for commenting a lot. I just love high school football. Well, we do too, and we're glad that you joined us, and there's no such thing as too many comments.
No,
so.
not at all. And if any questions you guys may have, please feel free to ask, and we will do our level best to answer them the best we can. Again, thanks again to Williams Cleaning Service out of Rainbow City, who was our sponsor tonight for the Gadsden Times Football Review. We will be back on again next week, next Friday night, hopefully around 11 o'clock. So please join us, and we'll also be on the preview with our preview show, which typically comes out around 8 o'clock or so on Wednesday nights, and you can find that at the Gadsden Times YouTube channel. And you can also find the link on our website in addition to Facebook as well. So, tonight we had a number of folks out and about covering games. So we've got photo galleries already up on the Gadsden Times website right now, so go check them out. Games are already there, game stories, you've got videos, we've got it all, folks. Again, we're doing this because for the love of high school football. The talent that we have here in Etowah County this year is probably some of the best talent I've seen in a while.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. There's nothing more enjoyable than going out, no matter the sport, just going out and covering, seeing the local teams, seeing local players, seeing so many people in the communities that just care about their high school football teams, watching them teams play. It's just so much fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
And can you believe week one's already in the books?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and for us actually, this is week 2, because I mean we were at daggum week 0 and had a pretty good slate.
Yes, we did.
And had a whale of of an opener to start the year, and then to go with this week 2. Again, we want to thank everybody who's joined us. We're going to wrap it up for the night, and again, check us out YouTube. Check us out on Facebook, the Gadsden Times website. Again, thank you again to Williams Cleaning Service for being our sponsor tonight. And our time is up, and we thank you for yours.